All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our chair class. We're going to start in our seats. I do have my props. I've encouraged you in the past, and I'll do so again, to grab 2 blocks and a strap. And if you are unable to grab these items as you do not have them, just maybe using a couple cans. The average size cans of kidney beans and stuff work well. Give you a little bit of support. Another great thing to use is just some throw pillars off of your sofa. Now all the blocks do when we start here with them under your feet is allowing yourself to most likely relax a little bit more, especially if you have shorter legs. But again, just an option. They're always just options. We're going to start in our seat though, in any place that you find comfortable within your body. I encourage you to close your eyes and just find the breath. Take the first few moments to notice your natural breathing pattern. Just noticing where your breath naturally moves in the body. Then we're slowly going to find a little deeper of a breath, and we're going to bring our breath through the nostrils entirely. So we're going to breathe in and out through the nostrils. Find a slight constriction at the back of your throat, giving your breath a bit of a raspy sound, an oceanic sound, just a gentle movement. Noticing the rise and the fall of your chest, the rise and the fall of the belly. And as we do begin to move, remembering this feel, this ease, this release with your breath. Always coming back to this. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves back into the space. Just moving anything that comes naturally. Most likely it's just the fingers and the toes. Always encourage a bit of movement through the neck, because we tend to forget the neck, yet we tend to hold a lot of tension in the shoulders. And then we're going to bring ourselves forward into our chair and make these movements a little more exaggerated. You're going to move your props out of the way if you were using them. I do encourage you to come further on the chair because it requires more work to stay there throughout the body. But if at any point it's too much for you, or you just feel more comfortable, more confident using the back of the chair, by all means doing so. So we're just going to start with our wrists today. So just taking them out, rolling them, making circles. Coming back to the breath, just noticing if you've already moved away from that breathing pattern. And then we'll slowly take the circles in the opposite direction. Sometimes we really have to pause to make that shift. And then we'll slowly bring some movement to the ankles. So these we'll do one at a time. So we'll start with the right ankle. We're going to lift the foot up and just make some circles. Circles can go right or left. If this is hard for you to keep the leg up, think about lifting up through the thigh. It'll help you engage the core muscles, which will help you get stronger. then we'll slowly release that side. And we will come to the other side, making circles. Coming to the breath, just always that awareness. And then letting that go. And we'll come back through the right leg so we can take our circles in the opposite direction. So remember, which way you went is probably what you naturally want to do. So whatever way you naturally want to move, take a moment, pause, and take that circle away in the opposite direction. And again, think about lifting up the thigh, think about the belly, think about yourself being at 90 degrees. All little tiny movements through the body, but all of that helps us get stronger and helps with very simple mobility through everyday life. And then we'll slowly release through that side and we'll make our way to the other. So the left leg comes up and take a moment, notice which way you want to make that circle and bring it the opposite way. And then gently just letting that go. Maybe windshield washing if that feels good. We're going to add a little bit of movement through the neck here, or stretch the shoulders and the neck. We're going to start just by taking our right ear down to the right shoulder. And if this feels like a stretch to you, you stay here. If you're not really feeling anything, think about taking your chin towards the right shoulder. It should give you a better, a deeper stretch down the left side of your neck. And again, think about yourself being at a 90-degree angle. So the body always wants to round in. See if you can counteract that by getting taller, opening the chest more, and then really drawing down through that chin to get a nice stretch. Then we'll slowly come back up through center on that side and just allow the left ear to fall to the left shoulder. Right away, most likely noticing that one side was tighter than the other, always very normal. Both sides of the body are generally different. So if this is enough for you on this side, you stay here. If you're really not feeling it, taking that chin to the shoulder. Long inhales followed by long exhales. And then we'll slowly come back up. And this time we'll just allow the chin to fall down towards your chest. If you are really tight, if you spend time sitting, hunching, this is probably going to pull quite a bit through your shoulders, or maybe even right down to your lower back. So wherever you feel good. If you have a lot more space and you're not feeling it, think about drawing down further and further through the chin, but the shoulders are going to stay up for now. We're still at about a 90-degree angle through the spine. And then we'll slowly roll ourselves back up and just make some circles. Just let that go. Maybe just right to left, maybe full circles, forward and back. For the most part, I really encourage you to listen to your body. I am just here as a guide, but your body is a very good guide as to where you should go and what you should do at this moment in time. And then we'll slowly come back up. We're going to stretch the shoulders now. So we're going to take the right hand up and over. So your elbow is about at the crown of your head or the side of the head. The right hand is on your right ear and you're just going to draw down. So there's not a lot of pressure going on here. It's really just adding a bit of weight to your head, to your neck. If you have a lot of more space here, like you're really not feeling this, you're welcome to take your left hand down to your chair and just moving like in a slight twist, any way that helps you come a little bit deeper. You should just be feeling a nice pulling sensation down the left side. Notice the breath moving through the body, and notice if you've stopped breathing. And then gently releasing that side, coming back up through center, let it go. Taking your left hand up and over, draping, grabbing the ear, and allowing the head to come down that way. Staying here, maybe taking your right hand to the chair and adding a bit more of an opening. And then slowly coming back up through center. And again, just letting that go, right to left, maybe full circles. What feels good in your body at this moment in time. We're going to stretch the shoulders a little bit more here. We're going to take our hands and interlace our fingers. Palms are going to face forward, and then we're going to drop the palms on the back of our neck. Maybe you can go down pretty low, and your thumbs are going to support the sides of your neck. Your thumbs might be touching your shoulders. That is going to depend on how tight you are. If they don't get there, that's no big deal. The hands are just here for support. Ideally, you're able to open your elbows even wider. Think about your elbows being in a perfect line. Your right elbow is being pulled by a strap. Your left elbow is being pulled by a strap. They're being pulled away from each other. Not allowing the body to round. The body wants to round. See if you can get even taller. Open up through the chest. Draw down through the shoulder blades. And sending your breath to wherever you're feeling the tightness, the tension, which is most likely drawing down your shoulder blades. You might be getting a bit tingly in the upper arms, the lower arms. Very normal when we get into the shoulders. And then we will allow this to compress. So we're going to draw the elbows in close to the ears. You should actually be feeling the sides of your arms pushing into your ears. And then we're just going to draw down. So we've got a nice base here, a nice support with the hands being tightly clenched around the side of the head. And we're drawing down. Now we can add as much weight as feels good to you. Just to get a nice deeper stretch down the back of the neck. And again, if you're tight, you might be feeling this all the way down into your lower back. And then we'll let that go, slowly drawing ourselves up. And once again, just rolling the neck in any way that feels good. Right to left, full circles. Hopefully you're noticing a bit of a difference already, and maybe some tension release, maybe in it just not being as uncomfortable as you move. That's always our aim, is to help the body open, release, and we generally do hold a lot of tension in that shoulder area. All right, let's do a little more for the shoulders. So come back through center. We're going to take the hands straight up. Palms are going to face each other. See if you can draw your hands up as far as possible. Your ears should easily be able to touch your biceps. Just a good gauge. If you've got a lot of space, maybe you can straighten the arms even more. There's nothing wrong with having your elbows bent here, but really think about drawing them back. So we're not here, we're coming nice and wide. Think about drawing down through your shoulders, and then we're going to move here. So the inhales are going to lengthen us, and on the exhale, we're going to twist to the right and drop the arms. Inhale as we come up, and exhale will come to the left. A few more of those, nice and deep on the inhale, feel the stretch, and on the exhale, find a twist. Couple more, inhaling up and down, coming through center and letting it go. One more time, back up, coming right, back up, and coming left. Coming back up and letting it go. So coming into our first mountain, we're going to start in a seated mountain before coming onto our feet. So ideally, again, you are at the edge of your chair, as close as comfortable within your body. Both of your feet are grounding down into the mat, just to give you that stability. And then think about opening up a little more through the chest. So really think about shining your chest forward and maybe even up slightly towards where the wall meets the ceiling. Arms are drawing down your sides, your palms or your fingers are nice and wide, the energy is flowing. Closing the eyes and just feeling this engagement. It takes quite a bit of work to stay here activated. And learning how to engage all these little stabilizer muscles that help us just stay at 90 degrees, that help us draw our shoulder blades down and back, that help us open the chest. All of those muscles are used for base mobility. So really feeling the engagement, noticing the difference. And then just gently letting that go, rolling in any way that feels good. We're going to do a chest opener now, heart opener. I'm going to just turn sideways so you can see this a little better. Fortunately, the sun is very bright today, which is not unfortunate, but it's unfortunate for my camera feed. So we're at about 90 degrees. When we go into a back bend, most people want to bend really low through the back. I want you to start at 90 degrees and just think about opening your chest again. So the chest is ideally aiming for where your wall meets the ceiling. Your chin is going to tilt back in. The chin wants to go back, but we're not looking to open the chin here. We're looking to open the chest. We're looking to bend through the back, through the spine, but we want to use the upper spine. So as we sit here, every inhale, think about shining your heart up more, and every exhale, maybe you can think about shining it farther back. Inhales open, and exhales we bend. Think about a candy cane. Notice what the chin wants to do. The head wants to come back. Keep it in line. Inhale, lengthen. And then gently bringing yourself back up through center. And we'll just allow the rounding. So counteract that now, just dangling down. Allowing your forehead to go wherever it wishes to go. Some of you might have come all the way forward. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to listen to your body and what feels good in your release. We're going to stretch out a little more through the shoulders here. So we're going to round ourselves back up through center. We're going to inhale the arms all the way up. And on the exhale, we're going to drop down. We're going to take our right arm underneath our left arm and find a bind. So your right arm is underneath, your elbows come together, and then maybe your forearms and your palms come together. If this is not within your movement, your range of movement, you're going to find the bind of the elbows, and you're just going to grab onto opposite shoulders. Wherever you are, think about drawing up through your elbows. And if you've got your shoulders, just think about maybe pulling your shoulders apart. You're not actually pulling, but you're looking for the sensation of stretching through the shoulders. If you have the bind, you're taking your elbows up and maybe your palms can come away from the face. When you have the bind and you reach away from the face, then the openness we're looking for is going to naturally happen. This is usually pretty intense. Make sure you're breathing through it. We tend to want to stop breathing when things become difficult, and then the body just becomes tighter. Every inhale and every exhale that we stay here, the body actually opens. It might not move much, it might not even be noticeable, but it generally opens about a millimeter at a time. And then slowly letting that go. So gently moving the the shoulders in any way that feels good. Rolling forward, back, right, left, hunching them up, dropping them down. What feels good? And then we have one more side. So we're going to inhale all the way up again. Feel that stretch. On the exhale this time, when we come down, the left arm comes under the right, the elbows touch, forearms touch, palms come together, or you're simply grabbing on for your elbow or for your shoulders. Where's your breath? Think about drawing your elbows up, and then maybe the palms come farther, maybe you have more sensation through the shoulders. Feel the breath. And then gently letting that go. And again, just moving in any way that comes natural, that feels like a release to you. And then we're going to flow a little bit just from our seats before we come up to our feet. So I like to flow with my legs wide. It gives me more space for my belly and my chest to come down, but it is not for everybody. So you're going to play with what feels good to you. The legs can be wide, but you can also keep them closer together. The inhales are going to lift us. We're going to really think about stretching out and reaching. And on the exhale, we do what we call swan dive. We come all the way down. Inhales, we come to a nice flat back. Think about stretching. And exhales, we release. Inhale, draw us all the way up. And exhale down. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, release. Inhaling all the way up. And down. Think about this flat back, touching the floor, 90 degrees in your spine. Let it go. Inhaling up. Nice and strong as you come through. Flat back and down. And just one more, coming all the way up and down. Flat back and release. And this time we come all the way up. And we're going to interlace our fingers at the top. We're going to come into our crescent moon. So most likely you're going to draw your feet or your knees a little bit closer together for support. We've interlaced our fingers. We're releasing the index finger and maybe wrapping the thumbs. Inhales lengthen us, and on the exhale we're making our way to the right. Find your breath. Find your length. Maybe you can use your right arm to draw you a little bit further down. Think about your left sits bone staying on the seat. It wants to lift. You're looking for a nice deep stretch all the way down the one side of the body. You should be feeling the stretch from your fingertips, down your arm, all the way down the side, and most likely right into even the hip. Inhaling back to center, and exhale, let it go. Take a breath. Coming into the other side, inhaling all the way up. This time interlacing your fingers, non-dominant grip. Probably feel a little odd at the top. Inhales, lengthen, and on your exhale, you're taking yourself in the opposite direction. Feel the breath. The inhales are going to naturally lift you, and on the exhale, maybe there's a little more space to move into. Inhaling back up, and hands to heart center. Inhaling here, and back to our seated mountain. Think about opening and releasing. Inhale to lift, exhale to engage. And then we are going to make our way onto our feet to pretty much do our little bit of a flow, the same way we just did, but on your feet. So you should be feeling pretty warmed up at this point. We did move a bit. Your chair is definitely beside you at all times to help you. You can keep yourself behind your chair if that's your preference as well. We're just going to flow a few times. We're going to start in our mountain. So we just had the seated mountain. In seated mountain, we were grounding down through both of our sits bones. In mountain, you're grounding down through your feet. So your feet can be close or they can be wider. They can stay about hip distance apart if that's your preference. Remember that same engagement through the upper body. So we were opening through the chest, aiming it up, drawing down through the shoulder blades. The fingertips were wide. And now we're also engaged through the legs at the same time. Maybe softening the gaze here, just noticing what the body does when you start softening the gaze. The body's most likely going to just start moving slightly from right to left, maybe forward and back. Just taking the time to notice those sensations. You'll notice where the body wants to settle. And we want to make sure the weight's evenly distributed, so allowing the body to settle. Sometimes when we come here, we want to really grip on with our toes. We want to let go of that tension. Breath is moving fluidly through the body. And then we will release all that work. We're going to slight bend in the knees. We're going to inhale all the way up. Same thing here. Exhale on the swan dive. So you really cascade over your legs. Inhales to a nice flat back. Feel the stretch. And exhales come down. Knees can stay bent the whole time. Inhaling all the way up. And exhaling through. It's just reaching, keeping a nice flat back. Inhales to 90 degrees. Release. Inhaling all the way up. And through. Nice flat back. And down. And just coming all the way up this time. And hands to heart center. Take a breath. And let it go. We're going to make our way into our first balancing posture. We're going to come into tree this evening. So again, you might be beside your chair, so you can take your hand onto your chair for support. If you feel better, by all means, just bring yourself behind the chair, and then you can keep both hands on the chair. Always remember, you have to feel comfortable. It'll help you get stronger, especially if you feel comfort. So we're going to start by grounding down through your left foot, and just play with bringing the right heel off the mat to begin. As soon as the heel lifted, the body probably shifted. Just feel the sensation. Think about your standing leg pushing into your heel and your right heel pushing into your standing leg. The more you engage through both of those legs, the more the body engages. And then if you're good here, you stay. If you want to play with a little more balance, think about bringing your heel up a little bit higher. And again, you've got the chair. You can have both hands on your chair. Balancing postures are ideally just made for the core work. You don't even have to add the balancing. It's just the more we can think about the leg that we lift up, even if your toes are still on the mat, once the weight's not distributed, the stronger your body becomes. So really bring your awareness to your right leg no matter where the foot is on the mat. And then think about getting longer. So even if you're holding your chair, you're getting more open. And you're grounding more. You want to feel the breath move through the body. It will help you stay, it'll help you stabilize, and it'll help you grow. At any point, if you want to play with testing yourself, you can play with lifting the hand up, dropping it back down. Just about breathing. Feel yourself get longer and taller, and feel yourself settle. If you're holding the breath, you will not feel those sensations. And then wherever you are, slowly drawing your right knee forward and letting it go in your mountain. Take a breath. Feel yourself open, and feel yourself ground. Opening and grounding. And then we'll make our way to the other side. So we're going to come on to the right foot will be your standing leg, and you're going to play with drawing your left foot up. So again, the chair is there, maybe you're behind it. Think about getting taller here, so grounding through the through the right leg, and pushing your left heel into that leg. Think about the connection here, the engagement in both legs. The body naturally focuses on the standing leg. The more we can bring our awareness to the leg that is not fully on the mat, the stronger the core works. You want to play with that balance, drawing the leg up. And again, feel the breath. Just notice if you've stopped breathing. Very normal to stop breathing. We want to work on breathing all the time, that same fluid breath we started with. Your body will learn to trust you more the more you can breathe into anything that you find difficult. Balancing postures for most people are difficult. But I can never say it enough. The benefits of learning how to engage your core more are just phenomenal. Going up and down stairs, getting up and down off the sofa, all of that requires core work, so we want to learn how to engage even more of our stabilizer muscles. They're small little muscles. And then wherever you are, slowly drawing the left knee forward and releasing into your arm. Let it go. The inhale's always open. The exhale's release. Inhaling open and let it go. And then I like to move into our flow. So we are going to use the chair. And I believe I said this last time, that if it's your first time joining us, I have my chair on a mat, so my chair is not going to move. I also have a very stable chair. If you do not have these things, I'm strongly going to encourage you to bring your chair against a wall. Maybe draping a blanket over the back of the chair to protect the wall. The last thing we want is your chair moving. You want your chair to feel very secure. If you are not comfortable using the chair at all, you're just going to bring yourself to the wall. We're looking to find the triceps while keeping the shoulders engaged at the same time. And as this is yoga, ideally I'm working on getting us into a flow. So we're going to start in our downward dog. If you're at the wall, you're just going to bring yourself to the wall with your hands up and push your bottom out to find a bit of a stretch. Downward dog is a stretching, resting posture. It's a big upside down V. In a chair, it looks more like a upside down elbow. But again, it's just about breathing. Notice where you feel the tension. Bend your knees as much as you need. Move in any way that feels better in your body. Just to feel a stretch. And then we're going to make our way into that plank version. So your hands are going to come forward on the chair or the wall. Your index fingers are going to point up. If you're on a chair, you might walk your legs back a little bit farther. All coming into plank is bringing yourself forward, but you can do that on the wall as well. I will show you in a second. So we start ourselves in the downward dog, and we move with breath. So the inhales bring us forward. The exhales, we come down. Inhales bring us up, and exhales, we come back. And it's just moving through the body, feeling the breath and noticing where we engage, where we get stuck. Because again, I'm just trying to get us to be stronger, to move better, to feel more stable on our feet. Breathing through breath helps us engage. And then if you're using the wall here, you're standing at the wall, and the distance your feet are away from the wall is completely up to you. Your feet are only going to stay shoulder distance apart though. And your fingers are pointing up, elbows stay close to the body. And you're still moving with breath. So you're inhaling and then exhaling. Think about drawing your shoulder blades down the back the entire time. You're going to feel the triceps engage. Triceps are the lower part of the arms. We very, very, very rarely use them, but we want to learn to engage them because it helps everything in our posture. It helps draw the shoulder blades down, which helps us stop the grounding that wants to happen in our bodies. We're moving with breath. So the inhales, we come in. Exhales, back. Inhales, we come in. And exhales, we come back. wherever you are, just slowly letting that go, bringing yourself back into your mountain. Feel the release. No rush here. We are going to come into one more balancing posture before we come through our warrior series. So we're going to bring your chair back to wherever you want it to be. Again, you're more than welcome to stay at the back of the chair if you are more comfortable with two hands. I'm going to come to the side, and then we are going to ground down through the left foot again. And this time we're going to bring our right leg up to about 90 degrees. Think about the toes coming up towards the face. Think about the spine staying nice and long. So there's an imaginary wall behind you, and you're lifting that leg up from the thigh. It's going to take quite a bit of work to stay here. Notice what the body wants to do. The body wants to round or come back even. We want that body to stay nice and straight. If you're feeling pretty good and you want to play with this, you can also extend through that leg. Once we open the leg at all, even if it comes down, it's a bigger lever to lift. But again, it's up to you. The more awareness we can bring to the right leg, the better we'll feel. Think about drawing up through the thigh. Think about drawing up through the belly, down through the shoulders. Imaginary wall behind you, 90 degrees. Always at that perfect angle. And then just gently letting it go. Moving in any way that feels good and helps you release. And we'll make our way to one more side here. So again, if you're behind the chair, you're going to stay exactly where you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you're ready, grounding through the right foot and bringing your left foot up at 90 degrees again. So really think about grounding and lifting. Toes are pointing up. It really helps to engage that way. And there's that imaginary wall behind us. So we're not coming forward. We're not allowing the body to come back. We're staying at 90 degrees. The chair is always there to help you. Notice when we're here for a little bit what the body wants to do. The body always wants to make it easier. It wants to move in any way. 90 degrees helps all our stabilizer muscles around the spine. And again, if you want to play with extension, just lengthening it. Maybe it's even dropping it down and lengthening it. It's just about engaging. Always just about engaging and breathing. We want to stop breathing. And then letting that side go. So just moving in any way brings you back to your release. Quite normal to feel a little tingly there. And then we are going to bring ourselves back onto our seats. We're going to come through a round of cat and cow before coming into our warrior series. So we're going to come forward in the chair if that's comfortable for you. You're going to take your hands beside you, or you can even hang onto the chair. Inhales, open the chest. Maybe I'll turn sideways. You might be able to see it a little bit better. Inhales, open. Really think about stretching up, taking the gaze back. And on the inhales, rounding in the opposite direction. So we become a cow with a big belly that drops. And we're stretching like a cat. Think about the arch a cat makes. Inhaling up. Feel stretch, especially through the shoulders, the chest. And then on the exhale, going the other way. Inhale, open. And down. And then we'll slowly make our way to a neutral spine. And then we're going to come into our warrior series from here. So we're going to start with warrior one. So you're going to spin one way on your chair. My preference for using a chair is to come onto the corner of the chair, but I really encourage you to find some place on the chair that feels comfortable and extremely supportive for you. So with warrior one, you're taking your right leg behind you and you're grounding through the ball of your right foot. Knee can be bent or leg can be straight. It's going to depend on your hips. The straighter the leg is, the more intense the posture is going to become. So there's nothing wrong with wherever the leg is, but I do encourage you to push down through the ball of your feet. It will help engage the leg. And then we face the knee, the left knee. And then we stay here, maybe playing with lengthening. Lengthening is also going to bring you at about a 45-degree angle. And maybe you take the hands up. If you have a lot of space in your lower back, you may even be able to take the gaze up. If you feel a lot of pinching through your lower back, however, you're going to bring yourself back down to wherever feels good to you. And wherever you are, you're breathing. The inhales always lengthen us, and on the exhale, you should feel more grounded. And just noticing if you want to stop breathing. We're not going to stop breathing. Gently releasing the hands if they were extended, and we'll slowly bring ourselves back through the seat. Gently allowing the release here. Again, I'm going to keep my knees closed, but you're always welcome to have your knees nice and wide so you can come down. The distance in your knees is different for everybody. Wherever you are, I want you to feel comfortable and released. Feel your belly and your thighs connect, and see if you can deepen the breath even more. That connection is a great test of how deeply you're breathing. And then we'll slowly roll ourselves back up through the seat and make our way into our warrior one on the other side. So just spinning the other leg, extending out through your left foot this time, and take time to notice it. So your left ball of your foot is pushing in, knee can be bent, and knee can be straight. Up to you, it's more up to your body, truthfully. And then we take our bodies to face our knee. Feel the stretch, the sensation, notice where you're feeling it. If you have the space and want to go further, you're going to play with taking the hands up and maybe taking the gaze up. Shoulders come down though. Shoulders almost always want to ride up. We want to see if we can draw them down. Feel the breath, feel the inhales, and feel the exhales. And then slowly letting that go. And again, coming back through to center, knees together, knees wide, dropping down. Release. And then slowly coming back up. And this time we're going to make our way into warrior two. So we're going to come back in the opposite direction. We're going to take our right leg behind us. But this time we're going to push down through the outside edge of our foot. Think about grounding down through your pinky toe. So you're grounding through your pinky toe, engaging through that leg. You should feel that into the hips. And then we'll take ourselves back a little bit, adjusting in any way that feels good. Maybe staying here or maybe opening the arms. So when the arms open here, the right arm comes back, the left arm comes forward. Traditional warrior two, your hands are facing down. If you are really tight through the shoulders, however, it is going to feel much better to have your palms up. And I really encourage you to listen to your body. Breathing wherever you are. Think about an imaginary string pulling your hand. String pulling you up through the crown of your head. String grounding you down through your right heel, through your left heel. Everything is very active and we're being pulled in all these different directions. And then slowly hands come in. Bring yourself forward and again, let it go. Knees can be wide if that's your preference. And then we're slowly going to roll ourselves back up through seated for one more side. So making your way into the other side, taking your left leg behind you, and take as long as you need to stack this up. So this time the back foot, your left foot, the baby toe is grounding into the floor. Think about lengthening, feeling the hip there, feeling the engagement down that leg, drawing your gaze forward and then opening up. Right hand forward, left hand back, and again, palms down, palms up. What feels good in your body? Breathe. Feel the length. Feel the grounding. All the imaginary strings are pulling us on this side. And then gently bringing yourselves back through the seated, allowing the round. Slowly rolling back up. We're going to make our way into Goddess before a spinal twist. So for Goddess, you might want to bring yourself further back in the chair. You're going to open up your knees as much as is within your body. Your feet are also going to splay out, so your toes are opening nice and wide. If that does not feel good in your body, you're going to move the toes forward. But we generally want the toes to track in the same direction as the knees. It keeps our hips in line. So as wide as you can go, and there's nothing wrong with being here, but you're going to bring yourself forward enough so your feet can be grounding onto the floor. I really would like you to have all of your feet on the floor, the balls of your feet, the heels. And now 90 degrees. So we haven't allowed the rounding, we haven't allowed coming all the way back. There's an imaginary wall behind us, or maybe you're even using the seat to keep you there. You're grounding through the heels and that sensation of lifting. Choosing to stay here, or full goddesses with the arms up and the elbows bent with the shoulder blades drawing back together. But that is always optional. Feel this space. Notice where you're breathing, or if you're breathing at all. And then we'll slowly release. So if the arms are up, they come down. The feet are going to come back. Your feet can always stay wide again. And one more time, we're just going to round ourselves into a ball. Just dangling. Maybe gently rocking from right to left if that feels good. Any movement that feels good in your body is always welcome. And then we're going to slowly come back up, and we're just going to do a spinal twist. So we're going to come to the side for the spinal twist either way. You're going to take both of your hands onto the back of the chair. You're going to inhale to open. Really think about opening through the chest. Think about grounding through both of your sits bones and then finding a twist. So not the whole body's moving, just the upper body is moving. The twist is starting from your midsection, right at your waist there, the top of your hips. Every inhale lengthens you slightly, and maybe there's a little more space to move into on the exhales. And then we slowly come back to center, and we counter that. We're going to take our hands onto the chair, inhales lengthen again, and exhales we spin in the opposite direction. You might feel this one even all the way down the side of your neck. Always remembering where we feel these stretches depends on where we're tight. And then letting that go, and one more side. Coming all the way over, and again, taking the time to stack yourself appropriately. You really want to make sure both of your sits bones stay down. When we add the twist, the right sits bone wants to lift up, but that's going to bring the twist to a different part of the body. When you're ready, hands come behind you on the chair. Inhales lengthen. Think about getting taller, and on the exhales, we find the twist. And again, moving with breath. The inhales lift, the exhales we twist. might not even move at all, or it might not feel like you're moving, but just the thought process, the awareness of where we're trying to go might help you come deeper. And then slowly coming back through center. And again, hands to the front of the chair, the inhales open, and exhales, we go in the opposite direction. And then we're gonna let that go, and we're just gonna come right back where we began our practice this evening. So if you did use any of the props, your blocks, the cans, the pillows, I encourage you to bring them back. Again, it just helps tilt the pelvic region for most people. It generally seems to depend on the length of your legs. Wherever you're comfortable, feet can be really wide too. If your preference is nice and wide, maybe your hands are just dangling at your side. We're going to close the eyes and come back to the breath. Taking your right hand onto your heart, taking your left hand onto your belly, keeping the eyes closed. Just feel the breath move through the body. See if that bringing the hands to the torso helps you breathe any deeper. And then gently allowing the hands to rest. And gently allowing your body to come back to its natural breathing. So we're still going to focus on breath for a little bit longer, but we're not going to force the breath or lengthen it, and we're going to allow probably the mouth to open. Maybe tilting down slightly through your chin if that feels good. I have my palms open, but if you're doing this at the end of the evening, maybe you want to have your palms down to close off the energy in your day, in your practice, in your body. And I'll take this moment just to thank you for allowing me to guide you. I thank you for practicing with me this evening, taking a bit of time out of your day. I thank you for taking time for you. Always encourage taking a moment to thank your body for allowing you to practice, for allowing you to move, just for carrying you through your day. Until we meet again, namaste.